Welcome to the Middle America Politics Podcast. I am Street Sweeper, joined by my co-host, Sam Fisher. Sam, how's it going?
Good. Pretty early tonight, so I'm wide awake. Not really, but...
Good stuff. Hey, what do you want to talk about?
Well, three things. The first thing I want to talk about is the Tucker Carlson thing. You've heard of this?
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's set the record straight now. I'm seeing too many people say that this is total proof that this is a complete government conspiracy. That, you know, everything from the FBI staged these riots to we don't have the full picture, et cetera, et cetera. So I wanted to get your thoughts on it.
It's all peaceful.
Yes. Yeah. I wanted to get your thoughts on the whole situation.
Don't believe your lying eyes. I mean, I think it's just silly. You know, I thought, you know, he showed the Buffalo Head man walking into the Senate with the cops around him, and almost, you know, he said, "Look, this is peaceful." They were leading him.
I don't think it takes away the fact that he was trespassing on federal property.
Well, there's that, but you, as a cop, you know, the cops all the other cops immediately said we were overrun and overmanned, and so
they had no choice.
We had someone who was unarmed, wasn't, you know, doing anything crazy. So we took a de-escalatory stance against him. He went in the Senate.
They were trying to save they're trying to save themselves.
Came in and kicked him out. So, you know, Tucker's.
So you're telling me that this isn't a conspiracy? You're telling me that this is a pure proof that this whole thing was staged by the United States government to cover up a fraudulent election. I mean, this is the stuff that I'm seeing on my Instagram feeds of my friends. And these are my friends. But I think they're frickin' out of their brain. They are out of their frickin' brain.
Well, you know,
that's what's going on.
Yeah, you know, and Tucker's just, he's stirring the pot. I mean, you know, it's pretty much everybody
But that's his job.
That I listen to that, you know what, though? People that I listen to are like, yeah, I've known Tucker for 20 years. He's a really smart guy. He knows that, you know, and he knows what he's doing. He's out there making a buck because there's people that want to hear that. So he's telling them what they want to hear. And he's using whatever sources he can to make his idiotic claims. But, you know, then I've heard other people say, you know, and then Fox News, you know, they're just doing what they're supposed to do because they've got people and, you know, they want to hear. It's like, I'm like, what happened to the news? What happened to truth in the news?
Long gone.
Everybody's just making everything up.
Well,
I don't know.
Another podcast I have.
It's a bad situation.
Another podcast I have called Cowboys Not Eggheads. We're trans marketing here. We've talked about that. I mean, because you can, ever since the advent of cable news, remember headline news? Every 30 minutes you got a new news report. And that happened when I was in high school, when we were in high school. And ever since the 24-hour, right? Yes, it was pretty good actually. But ever since then, you have to fill space, and now we have competing factions, and it's an entertainment business. It's a shop for your truth kind of system. And so, if you want to believe that there's some kind of massive conspiracy by the government to cloud over the fact that there was a fraudulent election. So let's just decide we're going to have a January 6th insurrection. If you want to believe that, there's a channel for you. There's a program for that. And that's all this is. And so I'm tired of it. I'm tired of seeing this garbage in my Instagram feeds. It was not a fraudulent election. For God's sakes, Donald Trump couldn't keep his pie hole shut. It's pretty simple stuff. You know, I said it.
And here's, you know, and then just a day or two ago, Trump's lawyer, Jenna Ellis, had to admit in writing to the Colorado bar saying that she lied about all of her evidence and ideas,
knowingly,
and else regarding knowingly lied about the, you know, trying to say that the election was stolen. She wrote it down and said, I was lying about all that, and I was Trump's lawyer.
Well, they all did. I
mean, I know it. You know, and same thing happened with Sidney Powell. I mean, I don't know what more people want than the people who have to go. They
want Donald Trump as president. They want Donald Trump as president so badly that they're willing to believe these outlandish claims. Mm-hmm. And listen, I'm on your team. I'm on your side, but I'm not on your side if I see one more Instagram story talking about conspiracies and fraudulent election and the government claim this. I mean, it's absurd. It's ridiculous. I'm tired of it. So that's what's going on, Tucker.
Although I will say this is that I don't quite get why McCarthy gave all that video footage just to Tucker Carlson and didn't release it to the press. I mean, that was another. Of course, who knows what McCarthy's doing, but just another thing that
because he's feeding the people of his story.
Why. I just think it was ridiculous that he did it. So,
yeah.
Anyways, all right. What else you got?
Oh, okay. Well, the other thing I have is we're just talking about all the divisiveness in America. There's finally a subject. There's finally a subject in divisiveness, divisive or divisive.
Saying how divisive.
Again, listeners, yeah, divisive. I think it's divisive. Anyway, potato. Let's call the whole thing off. There is an issue for the first time, I think since 9/11 that we all agree on it. As far as bipartisan support, strong bipartisan support. And that is the United States government believes that we need to shut down TikTok.
Yeah, I was just talking to my kids about it today. I said, do you guys have TikTok on your phones? I said, yeah, we do.
Oh, sure they do. Of course they do.
That might be coming off real soon, if not by the government, by me.
If they didn't watch yesterday's testimony with Marco Rubio's line of questioning, perhaps they should.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that? He's asking the intelligence director, FBI, or whatever. I mean, just point blank asking him, do they have the capability of controlling the data on your phone? Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, well, it's no big deal. We don't care. Well, why should you care? Perhaps we should explain to them why. Let's talk to our 20 and 30-year-old something listeners, all 6 of them. That's a joke. We have 5. Anyway. Why in the world should we be concerned about that, Jerry?
Well, I'll tell you what. I listened to a podcast. It was either a podcast or I listened to it. I forget which, or I read it. I forget which it was. Klon Kitchen, I believe it was with National Review. KLON Kitchen, like your kitchen. He happened to be an advisor to Ben Sass, and I think Sass realized that he was a smart guy and snatched him up and then he left, I don't know, a few months ago. But he's a very intelligent guy. And he kind of went off and really dug a little deeper on some of that to talk about the TikTok can follow every single keystroke and touch of your phone if you have TikTok on it. And
so I don't care. I don't care.
Chinese government, the line is,
and it's a massive database. They're gathering intel on you, and they're extrapolating
everything. It's everything.
Yes.
They hoover it up is the line that everybody uses as they vacuum cleaner up every single bit of information that you put into that thing. And
you think they could win a war and kill us if they have human intelligence on every individual United States citizen?
Exactly. And they talk about little things like, hey, what if a general's daughter had that in there, and the daughter said, yeah, we're going on vacation, to Colorado next week. Suddenly they've got intel on movements of military officials.
Yep.
Is it important? I don't know, but they've got it. And then they talk about
that's a macro level. The micro level is what scares the hell out of me, and that is that they'll compile. They have a whole file on Sam Fisher. If he's on TikTok, they know my history. They know what I like, what I don't like, what I'll look at, what I won't look at. So what does that mean? It means that they're building a freaking artificial intelligence model on Sam Fisher, and if now they're going to extrapolate that data and know that some white dude from frickin' Nebraska who's 54-year old. How do we defeat him? I mean,
right.
It's
and
big
sort
stuff.
of a big picture kind of thing, and then they also talk about, hey, what if you 12-year-old who's on there, maybe you're doing some suspicious things or who knows what, and then someday you go work for the federal government. Let's say you work for the CIA. Suddenly they've got data on you that they could, in theory, compromise you. Who knows if that's something like that could happen? But I don't know. But they've got it, and so I think that's why.
Well, both parties agree.
Yeah.
Pay attention, America. It's something that we all agree on. At least both parties right now agree on it. I mean, so I want to bring up TikTok, the great uniter of bipartisanship, TikTok.
I don't quite understand why we can't just resurrect Vine and have it be the exact same thing. Why doesn't Elon or whomever else just start?
I don't even know what Vine is, so you're a step ahead of me.
It was the original like super brief video that you would post, and that's essentially what TikTok is. TikTok's gone a little further, but I don't know. It seemed to me that somebody could just practically copy TikTok and like they try to do with Parler or whatever. And if you can't use TikTok, then you're going to have to use that, and Bob's your uncle. But
yeah, there you go.
All right, you had one more item.
One more item I saw in tonight's news, which just made me chuckle, and that was that, have you ever seen a public relations statement from a drug cartel in Mexico that was put on the news? I don't know. I just thought that was funny.
And when you originally said that, I thought it was, what I read was that they took the guys who committed the murders of the American citizens and filled them with bullet holes and threw their bodies in the street. I thought that's what you meant with the message was. But
they said they turned them over. They said, well, we're going to turn them over and they hang these out.
I think they turned over their dead bodies.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, turn them over. Yeah, there you go. But they said it's never going to happen again, and they violated our protocols. Whose protocols? Your criminal organization's protocols? What are you talking about? But it was all drafted like it was from some master public relations executive or something. I had to chuckle. That's what this has come down to. The freaking drug cartel.
They probably have a PR.
Yeah,
right?
It probably. I mean, it just made me like, what in the world's going on?
It's a crazy world. Anything, any exciting Nebraska news? I haven't, other than
well, they're up and running in the legislature. Some things they're moving. So I don't know if Kavanaugh's laid off lately or what the deal is, but nothing. Nothing I want to talk about tonight, I guess.
Yeah, that's the way I feel. All right. Hey, thanks.
Yeah.
I think we're
going to 13.
We'll see if we can record something next week. A lot of people are off, but we'll see what can happen.
What's going on next week?
It's you don't have kids. All the kids are on spring break.
Spring break. I got you.
Everybody's doing something different. But
we'll give you the week off, Sherry. It's fine.
And remember to respond and tell us what you think at Leavenworth Street on Twitter, at Meridian Sam on Twitter, and at Mid America Pauls on Twitter. And let us know what you think.
Yep. See you in a couple weeks, man.
All right. Adios.
Bye.